Imagine waking up and realizing the world you see is not reality. It's a personalized projection of your nervous system. Every sound, color, and emotion filtered through invisible algorithms of the mind. Welcome to perception, where science meets the soul. We trust our senses to show us reality, but what if what you experience is not the world itself, but a version crafted by your mind? Perception is not a clear window, but a complex, ever-changing filter that shapes and sometimes distorts everything you encounter. It dictates what you notice, what you ignore, and what you believe. Today, we'll explore how your mind turns raw sensory data into the rich, meaningful world you know. We'll see how perception can be both a masterful guide and a cunning trickster. By pulling back the curtain, we can appreciate the incredible complexity behind every conscious moment. Prepare to look at your own reality in a completely new light. What is perception? It's a question that sits at the heart of how we experience life. Yet it's something we rarely stop to consider. Simply put, perception is how your brain makes sense of the world around you, transforming a constant stream of information into something meaningful. First, your senses gather raw data: light, sound, scent, touch, and taste, each sense acting as a gateway, collecting details from your environment. This is sensation, unprocessed information hitting your biological senses, waiting to be interpreted. But raw data alone is meaningless, like a jumbled puzzle with no picture to guide you. Perception is the brain's act of translation, turning chaos into meaning, organizing the confusion into something you can understand. Like a chef combining raw ingredients into a meal, your mind creates a reality far richer than the sum of its parts, blending sensations into a seamless experience. Without perception, we'd be lost in a flood of meaningless noise, unable to distinguish what matters from what doesn't. It's the silent organizer that brings order to chaos, allowing us to function, make decisions, and find patterns in the world. Perception creates a stable, understandable world, even if that world is highly personal and subjective, shaped by our memories, emotions, and expectations. It's not just about survival, it's about making sense of everything, from the simplest object to the most complex idea. Our reality is a constructed masterpiece, cooked up in the kitchen of the mind, unique to each of us. This process is vital for navigating life, helping us adapt, learn, and grow with every new experience. Perception is the tireless force that shapes our every experience, coloring the world with meaning and guiding us through each moment of our lives. Our senses are our first contact with the world, acting as the gateways through which we experience everything around us. From the moment we wake up, our eyes, ears, skin, nose and tongue are constantly gathering information, painting a vivid picture of reality. But they're far from perfect. Our senses can be easily fooled, and sometimes what we perceive is not what's actually there. We trust them, yet they often deceive us. Even when we feel certain, our perceptions can lead us astray, making us question what is real. The brain takes shortcuts, making assumptions that usually help, but sometimes create illusions. It fills in gaps, smooths over inconsistencies, and tries to make sense of incomplete information. Optical illusions reveal how our brain interprets ambiguous signals, making best guesses that can be wrong. These illusions are not just tricks, they're windows into how our minds work. For example, our brain uses rules about size and perspective to judge distance, but these can be tricked by clever images. What seems obvious at first glance can turn out to be completely false. What looks like a simple error is actually an evolutionary adaptation for quick decision-making. Our ancestors needed to react instantly to survive, so the brain evolved to make fast, sometimes imperfect, judgments. In nature, a fast guess about a predator's distance is more useful than perfect accuracy. Speed often mattered more than precision, and those who hesitated risked their lives. Today, these shortcuts are exposed by simple drawings, reminding us that what we see is an interpretation, not a direct photograph. Our minds are constantly editing and interpreting the world. Our senses are storytellers, not cameras. They weave together fragments of information into a narrative that feels real, even when it isn't. Reality, as we perceive it, is always filtered through the mind's creative lens, reminding us to question what we see and remain curious about the world's hidden layers. Consider the checkerboard shadow illusion, a classic example of sensory deception. At first glance, it seems simple, but it reveals just how easily our senses can be fooled by context and lighting. In this image, two squares, A and B, appear to be different shades, but are actually identical. It's almost impossible to believe until you test it for yourself. Cover the surrounding squares and the illusion vanishes. Your brain created the difference. The effect is so strong it can even persist when you know the trick. Why? The brain compensates for shadows, assuming surfaces in shadow are lighter than they appear. It's a clever adaptation, helping us navigate a world where lighting constantly changes. It's not reporting raw data, but trying to figure out the true nature of the world. Our brains are always working to make sense of ambiguous information. Our visual system isn't a light meter, it's an interpreter, prioritizing understanding over accuracy. Unlike a camera, our eyes and brain work together to build a meaningful picture, not just a literal one. This illusion reveals that perception is an active construction, not passive reception. We're not just absorbing the world, we're constantly assembling it in our minds. The mind crafts conclusions from incomplete information. It fills in gaps, makes assumptions, and sometimes those shortcuts lead us astray. What we see is a best guess, shaped by context and expectation. Our surroundings, memories, and even our mood can influence what we perceive. Our brains are built to interpret, not just record. They're prediction machines, always anticipating what comes next. Every moment, perception is working behind the scenes, shaping our reality. It's a silent process, but it defines how we experience the world. The world you see is a story your brain tells you. That story is vivid, convincing, and sometimes it's more about meaning than truth. And sometimes that story is a trick of the light. Beyond sensory tricks, our past experiences shape what we perceive. Every memory and lesson forms a mental framework, guiding what we notice and how we interpret it. Two people in the same park, a plumber and an architect, see entirely different worlds, each drawn to what their experience values. This isn't a conscious choice, it's automatic, shaped by years of training and habit. Our expertise builds a unique perceptual world. What's important to one person is background noise to another. This principle extends everywhere. A mechanic hears engine problems. A musician hears notes in a chord. Our realities are customized by the echoes of our own yesterdays. We each live in a world shaped by our personal history. The Rorschach test shows how our past shapes perception. Faced with an ambiguous ink blot, your brain searches for patterns, projecting meaning from your memories and emotions. One person sees a butterfly, another a monster. The difference is in the mind, not the ink. Our brains are pattern-seeking machines, filling gaps with our own history. The ink blot becomes a canvas for our inner world. This isn't limited to psychology, we do it every day. We read emotions into faces, see shapes in clouds, hear our name in the wind. Perception is not passive, it actively stamps the world with personal meaning. We create order from chaos, using the raw material of our own lives. Every moment we project ourselves onto the world. Reality is a reflection of who we are. Our perception is also shaped by the groups and cultures we belong to. From birth, we inherit shared beliefs, values, and customs that frame our reality. Language directs our attention and even shapes what we can perceive. Some cultures have dozens of words for snow, seeing distinctions others miss. Social cues, gestures, and meanings vary widely. What's polite in one culture may be rude in another. Culture provides the rulebook for interpreting the world. We learn to see through the eyes of our community, creating a powerful consensus reality. Stepping outside this shared perception is difficult, which is why cultural views are so deeply ingrained. Culture even shapes how we perceive something as basic as color. Much of what we consider obvious is actually a cultural construction. Even our emotional responses are shaped by shared agreements. Culture writes the software for our perception. Three forces shape our perception: sensory quirks, personal experience, and culture. These filters interact constantly, weaving the tapestry of our reality. Senses provide a raw image, experience edits it, and culture overlays meaning. Every encounter is shaped by this interplay. Meeting someone new, your senses, memories, and cultural rules all combine to create your impression. Two people can meet the same person and perceive entirely different realities. Our reality is not fixed. It's a personal masterpiece of interpretation. We each live in a world uniquely crafted by our minds. Our journey shows that reality is not fixed, but a personal creation shaped by biology, experience, and culture. Our senses draft the story, our experiences edit it, and our culture polishes it. This isn't cause for despair, but for humility and empathy. Our perspective is just one among many. Others aren't wrong, they're living in a different reality. Understanding this encourages curiosity and compassion. It gives us the power to question our assumptions and seek out other viewpoints. By recognizing our filters, we can look beyond first impressions. The greatest wisdom is not certainty, but the courage to take a second look. Reality is richer when we see through the eyes of others. You're not just in the universe is in you. This is Holytrillionz. Have feedback, ideas, or collaboration requests? We'd love to hear from you. Reach out at holytrillionz@gmail.com. We read every message and appreciate your input. If this resonates, hit like and subscribe.